3, 2, 1, clap. Welcome, sad boys, to my channel. And if you know me, you know I like to pit album against album, song against song to whittle down what is the best, most perfect playlist, the most perfect synthesis of these two seemingly opposing albums. Now, one musical experience from my childhood that I've been dying to revisit, the Punk Goes series. We devised a bracket system, which you can see we have the retro side and the pop side. Now we have taken out the acoustic albums and the Christmas albums. We will be pitting all the pop albums together and all the retro albums together and then come to our final two so we can devise a perfect playlist with the definitive covers. There's no better album to start off with. Punk Goes Metal will be going against Punk Goes 90s Volume 2. And this is all with the goal of creating one perfect playlist with the songs we were given from the Fearless records. What's your attachment to the Punk Go series?
They're fun to listen to. I never sought them out because I was never a cover album kind of person. But
Breaking the Law, originally by
Judas Priest.
Judas Priest. I like these earlier ones because they really do feel like they fulfill the promise of Punk Goes. This feels like a punk rock skater band covering a metal song, where I can see if you are like a big Judas Priest fan, this might feel almost amateurish in comparison.
The way that the lead singer of Judas Priest, Rob Halford, like brings his like vibes and his energy, like he puts everything into it, this kind of fell a little flat for me.
And it's going against a goodie, an oldie, my own worst enemy,
By Lit.
By Lit. You can see in 14 years how they've sort of drifted away from that promise of Punk Goes. This feels a little more like screamo, metalcore, emo goes. So I don't know if I would describe any of these bands as punk. Maybe Yellowcard.
Yeah, I was gonna
Maybe
say possibly like a little bit.
Actually,
of
no.
Yellowcard.
Yellowcard tried suing Juice WRLD post-mortemly for having a song that kind of sounds like one of their older shittier songs. That's not punk. When Lit has already made the most perfect version of this song that could ever be conceived, what are you gonna do but just add a bunch of random 808 drops and double bass pedal and say fuck instead of shit? Improvements?
No.
Would you say Get Scared, My Own Worst Enemy, is better or worse than the Breaking the Law?
I'm gonna give it to Divot on this.
Alright.
They sounded like they had fun doing it.
And we have our first entry on the playlist, Breaking the Law. Just for clarity's sake, one more time, this playlist that we're making right now, Punk Goes Metal and Punk Goes 92, will go on to battle whatever the collective playlist from Punk Goes 80s and Punk Goes Classic Rock is, and then those two are going to battle, and then they're going to battle this one. If that wasn't clear, this is what we're doing. I hope it makes sense now. Let's have fun.
It will make sense, don't worry.
And now it's time for our number 2 slot. Talk dirty to me. Let's do it.
That one. It was very true to the original.
It felt like it was dragging a little in the beginning, and then the chorus definitely brought back the energy. I didn't like how the drum head sounded, but it was a fun cover overall. I like the mood of these covers so far. And it's going against Interstate Love Song, originally sung by Stone Temple Pilots. I never really listened to Memphis May Fire because their aesthetics always look like Of Mice and Men and just a bunch of other metalcore bands that I couldn't even bother. I think they were able to bring a lot to this cover that I wasn't expecting. A lot of these tend to fall under the same metalcore pattern of like, we're gonna sing one verse, really sing the chorus, and then go really heavy into the second verse. This one managed to actually go the entire cover without falling into those trappings. There was a little digital weirdness here and there, but overall it was a pretty straightforward and clean cover.
His vocals definitely fit in in with that like grungy, like 90s aesthetic. I liked it until the breakdown.
Would you say that you liked it better than the Talk Dirty to Me? I like the Interstate Love Song a lot more than Talk Dirty to Me. When we have a split, we should roll for it. I'm rolling for an Interstate Love Song, and I got a 4. Got 6, so we're putting Talk Dirty to Me on it. It doesn't quite fully feel like an AFI song, but it doesn't quite fully feel like the Guns N' Roses version. It's a little bland for AFI.
It's a little empty.
I do enjoy the game vocals in the chorus.
I do think that Davey did a very good job. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed the song. I also like AFI quite a bit, too, so maybe I am a little bit biased, but especially, like, in this era of AFI, I love their sound. But I do agree that it was a little empty.
All right, and one of my favorite songs by one of my least favorite bands. Yay! Well, we tried enough, so let's just scream the rest of it. Unless you disagree, our playlist is very metal front-loaded.
The instruments for Closer was good. Like, I enjoyed that.
You don't have to give it a compliment. It's fine.
But the vocals were gross. They creeped me out, and they were gross.
This is so competent, but the production isn't quite there to elevate it above Slayer. And since this isn't one of Slayer's bigger songs, I question what you're getting out of this version that you wouldn't get out of just listening to the original.
The lead singer's vocals in this compare quite well. The guitar work is good too. The drums were a little slow for me. It was a really solid cover. I liked it.
Fair enough. This isn't any different than any middle school garage band playing a Foo Fighters cover during a pep assembly. It feels like they don't really want to be playing it though, right?
Yeah, it was dead inside.
We're a metal heavy playlist. Here's a little change of pace for the metal one though. New Found Glory, I would say, has been the most poppy band to show up on this album. The great thing about New Found Glory is that you know you're going to get a solid song that is a lot of fun. All their covers of songs sound distinctly New Found Glory, so in that sense, they're only as good as the song they're covering.
I would have loved to hear them do Talk Dirty to Me instead of this one. The lead singer has that like 80s hair metal voice. He does
the
well.
higher
He does it
residence,
beautifully,
yeah.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me.
I think we have our first Pop Goes 90s song on the playlist.
Oh, the first 90s one to win you over. Given their recent performances during COVID, I'm suggesting that All Star is such an all-time banger goddamn classic of a song, we as a people should erase the Smash Mouth version and embrace the Chunk version. Will you embrace the Chunk version with me?
Absolutely. I love his accent that comes through in the song. It's amazing.
People, we have our first 90s song on here. You don't really get speed, thrash, metal, punk, rock skater bands anymore.
Yeah, especially ones that are like that clear.
It works in the instrumentals, a lot of it, but I found the transition through the parts not as effective as the Aussie version.
Let's listen to some Bush.
Back to the 90s with some Bush. I think at best, what a cover can be, you see the flaws in this thing you admire, this thing that you love and you're invested in, and you just want to elevate it to the level of craftsmanship that you believe was originally intended. What Mayday Parade has done is taken a Bush song, Bush being a competent 90s band and elevating one of their biggest hits into something that pushes it above the original for me. You are in agreement that we're picking a Bush song. Wow. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Never really cared for the original. Don't really care for the Ataris. This cover isn't really doing much for me.
Yeah, it doesn't spark joy. Well, that was a lot of fun. I had a good time.
Do I even need to ask?
No.
And we thought it was gonna be a metal shutout, but look at us now, 3-3.
What I appreciate about Motionless in White is they tried very hard to get that weird ass Rammstein sound.
Industrial, techno, leather.
Yeah, and like the enunciation, like it sounded really good.
Pleasantly surprised by the horns,
Yeah.
a little disappointed by the vocals.
Yes.
Something that can make you feel so much joy and yet so much just apathy at the same time. Speaking of which,
Today is the greatest day I've ever known.
two songs that you don't really have any strong feelings about one way or the other, the hardest to choose from. Today's fine. Today is the greatest day there ever was. That's fine. That's okay. I can accept it. Is that better than a 70 to 80% effective Metallica cover?
I liked the Metallica cover. The horns really sold me.
It added just enough to it to be something unexpected.
Yeah.
I need my sexual abuse. Gotta have my sexual abuse.
Like Strung Out, Guttermouth is just a solid punk rock band from yesteryear. Sexual Abuse to me sounds like a old thrash metal song, a little suicidal tendencies. You were saying Exodus, kind of, by his vocals.
A little Exodus, Skeleton Witch, kind of a combination going on. I loved his vocals. His vocals were just...
We have another confusing one. According to Wikipedia, this is In the Swamp, American rock band from 1993, as covered by Natalie Imbruglia
Imbruglia.
in Bruges.
Big sky is on. You're a little late. I'm
Okay, I kind of recognize the song now, but I can't say I've ever had like an attachment or I've ever listened to it. So this cover is very like,
I immediately recognized the song because my mother has Natalie Imbruglia's albums. It's
Mom.
Gentle Mom Rock.
you're torn on this one.
I
I
am
can tell.
torn on this one. I'm gonna give it to Hands Like Houses. What are
Okay.
you feeling?
Fuck, I'm not gonna argue on that one. I do not expect this one to make it past our next round.
No.
See me right out of that sunset on your color TV.
Dynamite Boy, an appropriate titled band for appropriately titled song. Still not sure why we're locking up the wives, why we're locking up the daughters. I get it, he's back in town, but I feel like if women aren't free to walk the streets, then someone should maybe stop him from coming
No,
into town.
They're just so attracted to him.
Oh.
And they're just gonna be like, oh my goodness, take me next.
AC/DC is such a white boy band that the lead guitarist literally wears a British schoolboy uniform.
it.
And they're saying, I'm dynamite,
Hey,
man.
baby."
We're dynamite, baby. Where's my Christian new metal rock alternative rap boys at?
Oh, that makes Payable on Death mean so much more. Okay.
Ghost Inside, heavy fucking band. Very interested to hear this.
Here in the South Town, you know the kids don't play. Put it down in the streets when I say
This is my favorite song that we've listened to all day.
Oh, really? Southtown?
The Ghost Inside's already a band I enjoy a lot. I like bro-y, heavy metalcore. Are you okay with this being on our playlist over TNT?
I think we're gonna have to roll the dice on this one.
You're gonna make me roll the dice for the one song I like? Fair. God, you.
you are one of a kind. One who never give in.
That one was not good. That's not good. It just, Gangster's Paradise, very good.
By Falling.
Falling in Reverse, very good. By all metrics of music standards.
I'm an educated fool with money on my mind. I got a 10 in my hand and a clean.
So Ronnie continues to be the most embarrassing face in metalcore.
He is the cringe lord of metalcore, I would say.
This isn't even like ironically done. He's trying to be tough in it. I just don't understand why Coolio sued Weird Al, but fully endorses Falling in Reverse. I'd rather put the meme on there and have the meme be defeated in the next round than to put on a song that I can't even remember listening to it 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, let's meme it.
I never thought I would see the day where I would choose a Falling in Reverse song.
They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walking in this wild.
This one feels incredibly natural
Yeah.
in Swindle's hands. Going against Ice Nine Kills, doing Good Riddance. Time of Your Life. The best song that Green Day ever put out in the 90s. Why would you ever want to choose any other song than Good Riddance? It's Good Riddance. Good fucking Riddance is the last song on this album.
So make the best of this test and don't ask why.
For a song that has been overplayed to death, this was actually kind of refreshing. Not that it made the song something new or transformative, adding the backing track did give it a little bit of life that I feel like it was lacking. Is Good Riddance, Time of Your Life by Ice Nine Kills better than the very solid, very well put together Swindle Youth Gone Wild? You like the Swindle version more? Sick, sick, sick. Now, typically, when I get down to the end of an album, I try to find extended edition songs, live versions to add on to the bottom. But since we're doing the bracket system, all these songs should just move on, and then their fate will be determined once they come up to a playlist that has as many songs as this one does.
Yeah, if we're doing like an overall of the Punk Go series, toe to toe, then yeah, that's a fair assessment.
At the end of our first playlist, this is what we're looking like. Only 5 songs are making their way from Punk Goes 90s Volume 2. Punk Goes Metal, the very first one to ever come out, and leading our playlist. Will it hold up through the ranks once we start getting to some of these better albums? Here's a question, I guess, for you as we do this journey. Do you want the final playlist to be all the songs that best evoke the promise of Punk Goes, meaning bands within the punk scene, lesser known and staple bands, and have them cover popular songs from another genre? Or do we want the final playlist to just be our favorite songs?
Best playlist, but the songs will embody what the Punk Goes is supposed to be.
I'm excited to go through these other albums. Do you agree? Do you disagree?
I agree. I'm excited to get down to these songs that we haven't gotten to, especially Aquabat.
That will have to wait until we have our second tier playlist ready to challenge one another. Thank you for watching. I'm Grayson Todd.
I'm not.
Good observation, hun. Join us next time when we continue to go through our Punk Goes brackets playlists. I'm having a grand time.
You have so many videos planned for you.
Toodles.
That's the hardest part, is convincing myself that I'm worthwhile. Just because you lack the social skills does not mean